I am looking for Oliver's lost weed, I said. He lost his weed? Rosamond asked. That was my star weed. It will grow up to the sky. It's superweed. It's sick, I said. Oliver didn't love it enough, Rosamond said. Will you know it if you saw it again? I asked. I know all my weeds, Rosamond said. I keep a list of them in this book. Rosamond opened the book she had on her lap. Oliver's weed has a yellow bud, she said. I already know that, I said, and its name is superweed, Rosamond said. I know that too. Nate the Great had a better name for it, but I don't think that Rosamond will like stupidweed. You have told me everything I already knew, I said. Oh, good, Rosamond said. I knew I could help you. Rosamond closed her book. Annie and her dog, Fang, were coming down the street. Sludge digged under the table. He knocked over the can of water. It fell on Rosamond's feet. Plop! Sloppy Sludge, Rosamond cried. You got my feet wet. This was not a good day for Sludge. He was afraid of Fang. He was also afraid of Rosamond's cats. I spoke to Annie. I am looking for a weed with a yellow bud on it. Maybe Fang ate it, Annie said. Is Fang a weed eater? I said. Fang will eat almost everything, Annie said. Watch! Annie shouted, Fang! Weed! Fang grabbed a weed in his teeth and started to run away. You owe me 2 cents, Fang, Rosamond shouted. Rosamond's 4 cats ran after Fang. I hoped that Fang and the cats would have a big fight. I hope they were all loose. The world would be safe forever. Sludge ran out from under the table. He knew it was time to leave. We had to look for superweed. But where? Perhaps we should look where lots of things grew. Perhaps we could find a clue in the woods or in a park. Sludge and I walked into the woods. We peered inside. It was dark and scary in there. It was almost as scary as Fang. Nate the Great hate cases where I have to be brave. Sludge and I crawled into the woods. We heard something behind us. It was gazing on us. It was Oliver. Sludge and I hid behind a tall tree. Oliver ran into the woods. Sludge and I ran out. We ran to the park. We sat down on a bench. Everything was sunny and bright. And safe. I liked it there. Flowers and plants were everywhere. Where was there a clue? Almost all these growing things. Was there a weed? Suddenly, I saw something. It was Claude. Claude was always losing things. He was crawling down a path along the flowers. Did you lose something? I said. A worm, he said. It crawled into the ground. I can't see it, but I know it is in there. It is right under our noses. Can you help me find it? This was not a good day for me, Night the Great. I've been asked to find a weed. I've been asked to find a worm. It was time to do something important. I went home and made some pancakes. I gave Sludge a bowl. I thought about the cakes. I had to find the weed and lose Oliver, but I was stumped. The weed could not have left Oliver's porch, but it was not there. I thought about clues. What had I learned? The weed's name was Superweed. I knew that was important. The weed had a yellow bud. Maybe that was important. Maybe it wasn't. The weed was last seen in a pot on Oliver's railing. Last seen was always important. What was Oliver doing just before the weed disappeared? He was reading a book and looking at his weed and turning away from his weed and going into his house. Were those clues? I thought of Rosamond. She was strange. That was not a clue. That was her problem. Then I thought about her book and her can of water. I looked at Sludge eating his bone. He always tried to help me with my cases, but all he had done was knock over Rosamond's can of water. Was he trying to tell me something? I thought about Claude and his worm. Suddenly, I knew I had a lot of good clues. I had to go back to Oliver's house. It was hard to do. Oliver was sitting on his back porch. I lost you in the woods, he said. Did you find my weed? I am getting close, I said. I looked at his railing. Where's your weed book? I took it back to the library, Oliver said. Then I, Nate the Great, must go to the library. I will follow you, Oliver said. I knew it, I said. Sludge and I rushed to the library. Sludge had to wait outside. I went inside. I looked for the weed books. I found Wonderful Weeds of the World. It had a dirty fingerprint on the cover. so I knew it was Oliver's copy. I pulled it down. I opened it up. I looked inside. I found what I knew I could find. Oliver's weed. It was between 2 pages. It was pressed against step 3. It did not look like sick anymore. It looked dead. I took the weed from the book and put the book back on the shelf. I knew that step 1, 2, and 3 could not help Oliver's weed. Nothing could help Oliver's weed. I left the library. Oliver was outside with sludge. I held the weed with both hands. It needed both hands to keep it up. Here is your weed, I said. The case is solved. How did you find it? Oliver asked. Clues, I said. Lots of clues. I saw Claude looking for a worm in the ground. He said he could not see it, but he knew it was in there, just under our noses. I thought about that. Your weed could have been in something close by, but we still could not see it. What was near your pot? What was just under our noses? Your weed book. But you gave me the biggest clue when you said you were using the book when the weed disappeared. When I saw your book, it was closed. I remember reading the title on the cover. It had to be closed for me to do that. But it should have been open because you were still using it. Rosamond closed her book when she was through with it. Why was the book closed when you weren't through with it? Oliver struggled. I made the grate. Will tell you why. The breeze blew it closed while you were getting the water. So what? Oliver said. After the weed fell into it. I said. What? Oliver gasped. Why would the weed do that? Because it was hid by the certificate of ownership sticking out of your back pocket. When you turned to go into the house, the certificate hit the weed, and the weed fell into the book. Plop! Just like Rosamond's can of water fell over when sludge hit it. Turn your back to the pot, Oliver. Oliver turned. Aha! Your certificate is aimed exactly at the pot. Perfect aim. I wasn't trying, Oliver said. Your weed was sick, I said. It was in dry dirt. It was easy for it to plop. It was right under our noses, but we couldn't see it, just like Claude and his worm. So my weed didn't go to China, Oliver said. I knit the grate, make a few mistakes. Oliver stinks and his weed. This weed looks terrible. It will never reach the sky. I am going to Rosamond's house to get my nickel back. I am going home, I said. I said goodbye to Oliver. I like doing that. I will be over later, he said. I knew it, I said. Sludge and I went back to our garden. I started to weed again, but I was tired of weeds. Perhaps Rosamond could come over and pick them off. Treewood gave them names and homes. That will make everybody happy, especially me. I had better things to do. I made the grate, went back to the library, and took out a good, clean book.